Hi, folks. I'm getting Larry on the phone. Um, Today is Wednesday, July 31st. Wow. Okay. Hang on one sec. Let me get you on speakerphone. We're live. So go ahead. I just said it's the 31st.
Hello, folks. Well, today, what's happening in today's world? How many people are on there?
Just two of us right now, but there are more coming. So I guess we could start here at the beginning by just saying Larry is doing incredible things and we need your help, and we need things that have to be paid for. So any help you can give would be greatly appreciated. The website is nicholslive.com. It's got links to past YouTube shows and to his PayPal, and it gives you his address. It's got links to the merchandise page that has the t-shirts and bumper stickers and his CD. His PayPal account is nicholslive@aol.com. We now have 7 people on the line.
Okay, well, usually when you do that, people drop off. That makes us feel real good. But folks, let me start by saying I have seen clips of the Democrat debate last night. And there's been much discussion, I figure, although I have not seen it, but I would imagine there's been much discussion as usual as to which candidate person won the debate. Most seem to favor Elizabeth Warren.
Really?
But guys, let me tell you, Howdy Doody would beat any of those candidates last night. That is the most ridiculous field of candidates I have ever seen in my life running for the office of the presidency of the United States. I've never seen it. I've never seen it, and tonight can be no better.
Larry, tell people why so many ridiculous people are getting in, because you told us that months ago.
Yeah, the reason they're in, basically, they know, or they think they know, and they're getting scared about what they think they know now. But months ago, they thought it was absolute. Trump was going to lose. They knew your report was going to convict him. Everything was going to fall apart. So whoever was going to be the next president from the Democratic Party would basically be the last. They'll be the last president because we will move into a socialist agenda in state. And so there's a good chance that whoever wins be the last one. So therefore, if you had any presidential aspirations at all, this was the time to get in and run. Now, they're not as strongly convinced today after the Mueller report that they're going to beat Trump. But they still believe overwhelmingly that the sweeteners that you saw them talk about last night will carry the day. Because they understand, even though I believe some of Trump's campaign people do not yet 100% believe in the new formula for this race, they believe that this is a race, the Democrats believe this is a race between Salt Lakes, theirs and Trump's Salt Lakes. And they believe their sweeteners trap people into having to vote for whichever one wins. Now remember, when I say trap people to vote, when they talk about reparations, and I think last night somebody said that somebody mentioned $500 million or something like that is the cost of reparation. Guys, that's an unrealistic amount of money. The budget cannot allow for it. It saying if you vote for the Democratic candidate, you will get $5,000 just given to you, or $25,000 for a family of four just given to you. You're in a position where you say, well, it's probably not going to happen. Maybe it won't happen. Don't know if it'll happen. But you know what? It'd be worth taking a chance and see. So that's how they trap people into voting. They've got paying for all college tuition. What they call the families that have someone fixing to go to college or in college. And the massive cost for college educations today. And somebody's dangling in front of your nose if you're the Democratic presidential candidate, if you'll vote for that person, you won't be out all that money. Well, you're trapped again. You may not believe it. You may think it's another one of the things they say that's a lie. But you almost have to vote just to see if it possibly can come true. Well, that's a lot of people that have children in college or fixing to go to college. That's a lot of those. Then they've got paying off all outstanding college debt. Now they did add a new wrinkle, I understand, last night, that pay off all college debt except for the 1% rich people that have their kids that had loans out. But I got news flashes for them. Rich kids don't have outstanding college debt. But anyway, if you're sitting there waiting tables after you got your college degree that is going to give you this high-paying job for the rest of your life, and now you're waiting tables, you're selling cars or whatever, somebody offering to pay off your debt is significant. And then the health care for all. Apparently, there were a couple of candidates last night that had some modicum of sense about it. And we're stating that the health care, Bernie Sanders and the rest of them, for everybody, just can't work. Although the premise they said was you can't pay half the people in America that have private health insurance and tell them it's illegal for them to have it. But you have to understand what the Sanders and that group of progressives, healthcare for all, means. Now listen to me, it's different than the Obama plan. Obamacare. Obamacare, you still pay a stiff premium per month. And you have to pay either 5, 7, or 10,000 deductible per each person in your family per year. So to be honest, you really don't have health insurance if you're under the Obama plan. But health care for all, according to Sanders and a blurb I saw from him, everything's paid. If you have a itch on your finger, just go to the emergency room. Everything's paid. No deductibles, no premiums, no nothing. It's all absolutely free. Now, one little thing I did see Sanders do in this little clip, when somebody challenged or seemed to challenge the reality of such a health care plan for America, Bernie Sanders said that you don't have to look for Canada. The people in Canada love their health care, which is the health care for all that he's proposing, that they love it, that it's working great. Well, let me tell you something, folks. A couple things wrong with what he said. Number one, Canada is not the size of America. Number one, Canada is not much larger than some of our bigger states. But the thing that was an absolute lie was that the Canadians love it. That's not true. According to the latest poll, information from Canada is 63% of the people in Canada do not like it. And I can't remember the numbers, but the numbers were staggering of the people in Canada that could afford pneumonia. So by the time you get to see a doctor with just your average cold, it's turned into a catastrophe. But see what's significant? He lied. He stood right on that stage and lied. And all the people applauded, I'm sure. But think about this. If all you see from your news, certainly the debate, is CNN or MSNBC, if that's your only source, and what he says does not get challenged, then guess what, folks? It's true. See, that's what's wrong. It's true. That's what makes this race so hard. That's why when you're sitting back saying, well, look at the great things Trump has done, the growing employment, et cetera, the stock market, all of this stuff. You're sitting back, seeing all that, you're going, there's no way you could lose. And then especially when you look at the candidates, there's no way you can lose. Folks, I'm telling you, that's not true. Because half of the people in America literally had all they needed. MSNBC and CNN's version of the truth. That's all they see. And it's so skewed that for anybody that's paying attention, it's ridiculous. I just gotta make you believe, I've gotta make you understand that's all they see, that's all they know. And to further that, look at the foreign countries, the foreign leaders. That's what they see. That's the problem Trump's having with China, Mexico, and all these trade deals. It's sitting there digesting the news that they get coming in from MSNBC and CNN in most foreign countries, CNN. And so the picture they have of Trump is a picture of Trump's position in this country as far as leadership, his class. They're not going to make it legal. They don't want to. So you see, this race is far from being won, certainly far from being won.
And Larry, let me say something about that. I saw Eric Trump yesterday, I think on an interview with Hannity, and he was talking about, Trump's a shoo-in to win. I at this point that might be okay, but I was concerned with that level of confidence really turning people off to worry about it. And it'll be...
It's a tough call for Trump and his family. They had to come across with exuberance, excitement, and come across like they believe it is a shoo-in. That's what they've got to do.
Okay.
But for the rest of us, no. You're not going to see Trump or his family come out and say, golly, guys, we stand a real good chance of losing. That's just not the way they are. It's just not. That's our job. And I assure you, President Trump, I can promise y'all, now is keenly aware of reality in this race.
You can see that in his demeanor, Larry. He's just a lot more serious.
Now, just don't go betting on the fact that he is going to run out and help people. That's a position of weakness for the president. He's not going to show that. Not his style. Like you say, Mary Ellen, I would hope anybody does a personality profile of him. I think they will see a change. They will see a seriousness in his tone, in his hand 20, it's 50-50. And that means that 50% of the people in this country right now today, 50% thereabouts, plus or minus 2% or so, they'd be willing to go for a president that's pitching socialism. They would. If socialism means what it's 50% believe it means, they're all for it. The problem is, the reality of socialism is not what these 50% of the people believe it is. Reality is Venezuela. Reality is every other country in the world. And it's going to socialism or communism. Don't work out quite the way it's sold to the people. That's where we come in with an army. We do not have sweeteners. So if you're laying out strategy for this campaign, and you're understanding that this is a salt-based election, there's not going to be any of that 20% that don't care, the 20% in the middle, which used to be called the swing voter. That's not in this race. That's in races past. That is not in this presidential race. 50-50 for all practical purposes. And that means that every vote is precious. I just found out this morning, California, the governor signed it, has passed the law that California is not going to allow President Trump's name to be on the ballot. California, if he does not turn over his personal tax filings, which he's not going to do. Do you hear what I said? California is not going to let his name be on the ballot if he doesn't turn over his personal income tax records.
Can I ask a question about that? This may be a really dumb question. Because California tends to vote blue, I know there are red areas, and that's a problem in the red areas. But because the overwhelming vote, because of Los Angeles and San Francisco, will go red, will go blue, Democrat. Does it really matter that his name's not on there?
Yes. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
I told this morning. This election is going to be won or lost between somewhere in 1 million to 3 million votes. That's it. You're going to win this election with somewhere around 1 million to 3 million votes. That's all the margin you're going to have. Ain't going to be no landslide unless something happens. Now, if you take that 1 million to 3 million, knowing that that's the margin that can lose this race, if you take Trump off the California ballot, folks, easily, even though it's a blue state, dominantly blue, you could easily lose 1 million to 3 million votes just in that one state.
Yeah.
That's serious.
And
This is extremely serious. And I'll tell you something else that's never been done in this country before. California, for all practical ways to look at it, California, y'all is already succeeded for the union. When they made themselves a sanctuary state, they violated their contract with the Constitution of the United States of America. They violated it. You see, there are only a couple of 3 things that the federal government constitutionally has absolute control of. It just so happens that one of them is immigration. No state is allowed to speaking generally, about immigrant immigration because that's under the strict purview of the federal government. And they're doing it. They're doing it and getting away with it. You know why? You know why they're able to do it? I'll tell you a couple of reasons. Number one, I have warned you that our judicial branch has been taken over by communists and socialists. Power. It's run like a communist country. So therefore, what is this? Man, I'm going to take this call for 1 second. I've got it. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Yeah, I mean, the judiciary, that's why,
I'm back. I missed it. I'm back.
okay.
So, number one is the judicial system has been taken by the communists. So ordinarily, if you have a state that violates its constitutional commitment, you take it to court. The court would shut it down. But you can't now. You can't now. Because you take it to federal court, it will stand with the communists. The other reason, equally significant, this has never been done before. It's never been done in our history since the Civil War. The compacts that were made have never been violated the way these have been. So to be honest, there's no set protocol to deal with it. So when there's no set protocol to deal with it, what does that mean? It's got to go to the legal system, it's got to go into the court system, it's got to go all the way through, and then finally the Supreme Court will be the ones to make the call. By the time it gets to the Supreme Court, that I believe stands a chance of upholding the constitutional tradition in this country. By the time it gets there, it's too late. Election's over.
The other thing I'd like to add, Larry, there's a lot of people talking still, like they did a couple years ago, about the Convention of States. And all that's going to do, they will have a lot of liberal representatives coming from the various states. That is all about, isn't it, overturning our Constitution, saying it doesn't work anymore, and they can use that venue to change it?
They try. The Constitutional Amendment Convention is not going to accomplish anything. People talk about that like the only people that are going to be conservatives that believe and think as we do. That's not truthful. There will be as many, if not more, liberal-leaning people as there will conservatives. Plus, that's not going to happen in time to do anything, even if it were possible. Everything is landlocked. Don't you see? Everything is landlocked because of the compression of time. We've got from now until November 2020 to save this country. We got one thing in November of 2020 that can save this country. That's the election for the presidency. That's why I'm so adamant that we have to win it. They ain't gonna be no come back and get them in another 4 years. They ain't gonna be no let's get them next time. They ain't gonna be none of that. Every one of the candidates last night, in their own way, everyone that I saw, I can see all of my saw snippets from most of them. Everyone that I saw set the stage for the takeover of our nation. Everyone. And they're talking about gimmicks. That's all they talked about. Gimmicks here, gimmicks there. Reparation, insurance for all, health care for all, college loans, etc. They're all gimmicks. Gimmicks. But the underlying position of the Democratic Party today is the overthrow of the United States constitutional representative republic form of government. What it's about. How many people are on down there, young?
30.
We did come up today. Good. The Army's rolling. Anybody has questions, get them in now. Please.
Yeah, Don asked how is it legal to keep Trump off the ballot?
It's not. It's not legal. Legal at all. President Trump called on, that's named on the Senate.
Yeah.
President Trump called, forced him to put his name on the ballot in California. You see, this is the result of what's known in the legal community as precedent.
Well, they're setting it.
California set up themselves as a sanctuary state. This is just one thing. When they set up as a sanctuary state, which is a direct violation of the Constitution, meaning that the federal government has total and all purview over illegal immigration. And they did that, and nothing was done about it. Nothing. And you set a precedent.
Why wasn't anything done?
It beats me. The only thing I can think of was the failure of our Congress. Combination of that and just the perfect storm. Perfect storm, which is the Democrats have the House, the Republicans have the Senate, and they obviously are not working together on anything, and certainly nothing as significant as that. They want you to talk about things having to do with the border crisis now, much less that. They wasn't dealt with. Had it been dealt with, there's a chance it could have been dealt with properly. And if it had been dealt with properly, whatever was used to enforce that could have been used to enforce getting his name back on the ballot.
Trump did try to do some things about it, and the Ninth Circuit stopped it, remember?
Right. That's what I'm saying. The judicial system's under the control of, it's already turned.
But I think, the question is, why didn't Trump do something? Because we know the Congress won't. But the fact of the matter is, Trump did try to do something, and he was blocked by the judiciary.
One branch of our three branches of government is gone. And you see now, I hope, the impact that just one branch falling in the hands of communism and socialism, just one branch, you see what it's doing. Now imagine if the legislative branch falls. And then imagine if the executive branch, legislative branch, join the judicial system branch. Think about where we are. And then tell me you're not scared that we're close to losing our country.
We have a couple current questions, Larry. This is somebody named Paul. What do you think, who do you think the Republican opposition will be in the primary running against the president?
I don't know. I do not know, but I too much about that.
Okay, here's a good comment. It's easy to overturn the constitutional republic psychologically since education has been compromised by communist and socialist instructors.
Yes, that's true. That's why we got a whole population now. We got a whole population now, folks, that half of them are buying into communism and socialism. Why? Because they've been brainwashed, they've been socially engineered from the day they sit in school to the day they left, from teachers and professors. And they put in place with the design purpose of doing just what they have done.
Okay, could 10th Amendment states' rights make it legal to omit Trump from the ballot?
No. States' rights, 10th Amendment has to do primarily by design. It has to do with those things that the federal government does not have specifically granted it in the Constitution. You got it? So,
Okay.
for example, education. This whole federal education, everything running out of Washington with education, that can be stopped at the state level. It wasn't meant to be controlled by Washington. The states can't print currency. They can't protect the nation with an army. And they can't be in charge at a local level of immigration. Those three things are specifically outlined as functions of the federal government. That's it. I may be missing one, but I don't think so. That's it. Remember, our founding fathers wanted the federal government to be small, to limit the federal government, not to grant it all these powers. It was designed specifically to limit the federal powers and to put the power back in the hands of the people at a local level. What else you got?
Just a second. How worried should the Clintons and others be over Epstein? And will Epstein make it through a trial?
Well, and this is my opinion, so put it in that category, my opinion. Epstein will take advantage of his association, politicians for his money, and there's a good chance when it gets into the judicial branch of government, can walk away reasonably unscathed.
He cannot walk away?
Can walk away, might walk away unscathed. But it depends on how many people in high places he can bring down with him. There are more people like Bill Clinton that could possibly be exposed and come down if he goes down, and he won't be touched. But if he's standing alone, he's in trouble.
Well, I think most of us expect that he has a lot of people to come down with him, so therefore won't be touched.
Well, that's why I think what I do. And again, folks, that's my opinion. That's all it's worth. It's just my opinion. And the reason I feel that way is because this is not new. He's been up to this crowd for years. And I figure that the reason he has been able to get by with it for years is the level of peace else. You would be shocked, those, maybe not y'all, most people would be shocked at the number of perverts that are sitting in office as leaders of our nation today.
I think an awful lot of them have been exposed to a certain extent, and of course people want to claim that it's conspiracy, but do you think Epstein will be killed so he can't whistleblow?
Good chance. Good chance, my opinion. Please take it as such.
Okay, somebody says, I want to thank Larry for exposing Hillary and Kerry and Obama for who they really are.
Thank you. I did the best I could do with all of you helping. Even though we might not have known we were working together back then, but we were.
Sharon had a question yesterday that I missed, and I can't remember what it was, and I promised to ask you today. Sharon, if you're still there, type it in again. I'm watching for it. Those are all the questions we've got right now while I'm waiting for Sharon to type.
I'd like to ask a question for a handful of you to respond right away. Do y'all truly see the peril that our nation is in right now? Do you truly see it? Or are you just listening to me? Do you really see it?
Type yes if you see it.
Please. I want to know. Because if you're not, if you don't, we have trouble.
Amanda says yep. Paul says, oh yes. Anthony says, no, we're screwed if the Democrats get power again. Linda says yes. That's 4 out of the 30. Luann says yes. That's 5.
It's important to me, guys, that I know you're seeing what I'm telling you about. Not just hearing me tell you. This isn't something that I believe is sufficient for me to tell you. And you make you believe it for me telling you. It's something that I gotta know whether y'all really truly feel the same thing, the same way you're yelling and I feel. And see for yourself the trajectory we're on.
Okay, so we've got 8 people agreeing. James says, provided the election is not rigged, is there anyone Larry thinks can beat Trump at this present time if things continue the way they are?
Things continue the way they are. Every one of those nutbags that you see in the Democratic debates, any and every one of them can beat President Trump. I'm ashamed to say that, but it's true.
Because of the sweeteners and everything and the fraud?
Yeah,
That's a scary thought, Larry. That is really scary.
that's true. Let's say that that's just one of all gets it. Whoever you choose to say is the craziest, the nuttiest, stupidest, the one you can't believe could be a pointed dog catcher gets it. If the media doesn't tell the population who this person is, if all they do is give them accolades and not Trump, what do you think's going to happen? I had a guy named Gary Russell. 98% of the American people are just absolutely stupid. And I used to just cringe when you said that. I have more faith in the American people than that. But as years have progressed, as I have seen what I have seen over the years, and as I have done what I've done over the years to manipulate the mass population, I understand he is right. You've got the largest conglomeration of people in the world that have better education, better everything, better living standards than 99% of the people in the rest of the world. And yet we can be manipulated. We can be led around by our nose. Every one of you in this audience right now, every one of you know somebody that if you looked at their resume would say they are obviously quite intelligent, quite intelligent. But they hate Trump.
Mm-hmm.
They have bought into everything that's been said about Trump. And they don't believe us when we say all of the stuff that the Democrats is lying. I thought the Democrats is lying. We don't know people like that. How is that possible? How can you have a fifth-grade education with the systems of communication we have today with television, internet, radio, etc., etc., etc.? How can you be so blind still? Well, they are. Taken from a man that has pulled many a scam on the American people. And people vote for people that you wouldn't even want anywhere near an office of leadership in this country or state. I did it over and over again.
Okay, we got some more questions here. Will the Never Socialism banner get popular somehow?
Yes. Yes, its day is coming. President Trump will see to that.
Okay, what do you think about Michelle Obama running?
She won't. She will not. Plus, it's going to be virtually impossible after another debate, this one and maybe one more. It'd be virtually impossible for somebody else to get in the race at this stage.
Okay. Let's see. Ruann said high tech can beat him through social engineering if we're not focused. Okay, why they want Trump out so bad that will put Pence in the presidency, but they think they can bully Pence?
Pence is a part and has been a part of the deep state. He is pliable. He is. And I think Trump took bad counsel when he was talked into having Pence lead his running mate. But I think the strategy was by the circle of people influencing Trump
Yeah. Isn't the curtain finally being drawn on fake, corrupt media? Well, it seems to me the curtain's being drawn on conservative talk.
Well, the problem, if you will accept the truth, here is the problem. The people that Ken Law and the other conservative talk radio hosts, people that listen to Tucker, Hannity, Larry Nichols, and others, people that watch Fox, yes, curtains have been pulled back. We see the media for what it is. Now, to the other 50% of the country, no, why would they? You don't see, but let me give you an example. Have you ever noticed when CNN or MSNBC or anything like that, when they do something really stupid and people just virtually get caught? I mean, it's obvious. You hear Hannity talk about all the time, or Tucker and them. You hear them talk about, well, they did this and they got caught. But you never hear CNN or MSNBC, you never hear them say, whoops, we made a mistake, we were wrong, and here is the truth. And then you sing that. And then you sing them saying, we're sorry, here's the truth. The answer is no. And here's why it's no. Number one, I doubt very many people here on this program right now didn't watch it that much. And number two, if they don't tell their audience they made a mistake, and their audience don't know a mistake was made, because their audience don't watch Fox or listen to conservative programs. That's how they get power, don't you see? So simple. If you just don't admit it, if you don't tell the people that watch you that you did something stupid, they never know you did something stupid.
Okay, one more thing. Why do you think any of these nut jobs could beat President Trump? He doesn't understand.
Well, it is hard to understand, and it's even harder to believe. Except for this, whoever wins the nomination for the Democrats, whoever it is, whatever stupidness, the 50% of the country that just watches CNN and NBC and that ilk, tells the telling. And if they get through with their PR work, they will make the dumbest one of the candidates look like they were brain surgeons before it's over. And remember, they're not running on their records. They're running this race based on the fact that they are going to destroy President Trump. Let me tell you another reason. I keep going back to this, but remember, we're not 40-40-20. If it were a 40-40-20 formula for this
Wow. So if Trump somehow loses, what can be done?
Not a thing. Not a thing. Because if Trump goes, then I believe, I guess you would put this in the category of my opinion. But I make my opinion based on years of experience and knowledge. If Trump goes down, there's no way that Republicans will hold the Senate. They won't. And you'll have Democratic President, Democratic Senate, Democratic House. And all will be over because then you will have the executive branch, legislative branch, and the judicial branch all fully and totally committed to socialism. That's why I can say to you, within 6 months to a year, we'll be a full-throated socialist country. May not call it that, but that's what we'll be. 6 months to a year after the president takes office in January. That's all it will be. Most of you think, well, gosh, it can't happen. It can't happen that fast. So it absolutely will happen that fast. I promise you they will move like lightning. Converted.
Yep. Here's another good question. Why is the Russian government such a target? With all the money we owe China, they have more of a vested interest in who's in the White House.
Say that again. Why is Russia?
Why is the Russian government such a target? With all the money we owe China, they have a more vested interest in who's in the White House.
Well, because they call Russia, mainly in the campaign, they call Russia. What they've spun it is Russia was probably doing more to help Hillary than they were Trump. China didn't get called. And the other thing is, it's better for the Democrats to use Russia because Russia is considered an enemy of this country. And for some reason, a lot of people don't consider China an enemy, when in fact, indeed, China is a much more prolific enemy to America than Russia could be.
Yep.
If you take Russia.
Whoops, we lost you, Larry. Larry, we lost you.
Hello, am I there now?
Yeah,
Hello?
thank you. Yep.
Am I there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Russia is not here. The danger to America, the China is if you take, by taking Russia's nuclear option out because of our nuclear deterrent, Russia poses very little of any threat to America. You think about it. China poses a threat to America every day. Every day. A serious threat. China could bankrupt America tomorrow. Could. Why doesn't it? It doesn't, because it would hurt itself. China is still working to build its economy while at the same time building its military.
I read this morning.
Why would China even bother to attack us, folks, when as it stands right now, if we don't change it, China has control of more of our politicians in Washington than we do. They don't, we don't.
Wow. Somebody made the comment this morning that I read that China is spending more money on surveillance of their own people than they are the military. I don't know if that's true or not, but
That is. One other thing. They're making probably 60, some even say as much as 80% of the computer equipment or parts of the computer equipment that we use to run our military with. So I shouldn't think they have any trouble surveilling America.
I wonder if the person who was talking about surveillance was talking about the Chinese or worldwide.
I don't know. I was reminded of talking about the Chinese. I know.
Yeah.
Look into the world out there. Many countries, I would imagine today, have technical expertise to do things that we probably would be scared if we knew they could do it.
Yeah. Do you know what the vacant cities are for? Do you know what China's vacant cities are for?
No, I know nothing about them.
Okay.
Don't even know if it's real.
Well, we're at the top of the. We have a couple more questions, but some of them are worded in a way that I don't quite understand to ask them.
Well, ask them right quick and then we'll go.
There's one. Should we bring in a similar law against Marxist foreign billionaires who engage in election fraud interference?
Yes, we already have them. We just don't use them.
Okay. Thank you for your service to our great nation. God bless you and your family, Mr. Larry.
Thank you. Anything else? Are we done?
No, we're done.
All right, y'all. Hopefully I'll be here tomorrow. I hope.
Yeah. Thanks, Larry.
Have a good one.
Okay, I'll close it out. Thanks. Folks, he will be here if he gets the funds he needs to stay in the fight, because he goes down very, very quickly without the funding. Thank you so very, very much to the people who have provided funding this week with his birthday on Monday. It was really nice. It was greatly appreciated. The people who stepped up and donated money to keep him going through the week so far. You can't believe how much even I appreciate that, but I know how much his family appreciated that help. And you know, the strength in his voice yesterday and today, particularly at the beginning of the program, the strength in his voice, that is an indication of his being able to stay ahead of the game, stay ahead with pain management, stay ahead with treatment he needs. When he gets behind, I don't know if any of you deal with chasing pain and excruciating pain on a constant daily basis. I don't, but I have family that does, and certainly with the years I've spent with Larry, working with him and talking to him or hearing him, not necessarily talking to him, but hearing him daily. I understand if the pain gets ahead of you, it is very hard to get caught up. There have been times when they've had to give an extra dose of pain meds beyond, an extra dose or two to try when he's playing catch up, to try and get him back to square one and get it under control. If you can stay ahead of the game, then you can function. When you get behind it and the pain takes over, it is very, very hard to catch up. The scientific reason for that is because the neurons in your body create habits. And if the neurons get habituated to a certain level of pain, they're habituated, and that's what they're used to doing. And it takes more to stop what's going on. Whereas if you stay ahead of the game, then you keep your neurons in the habit of the pain management. And it really is as simplified as that. And I don't know all the technology or the technical issues. Forgive me as I'm trying to catch a mosquito. I think I got it. I have been bit by so many mosquitoes this week. It's terrible. They got in the house. Sorry. It just, pain management is significant. And with the amount of shrapnel Larry has in his body, they need to keep an eye on him. They need to make sure none of it moves to a place that would kill him and take him out. Amanda, I'm sorry you understand, but yes, for people who understand pain management, then you know what I'm talking about. Folks, I know we are poor. I know that. And I know we're all nearly all of us living on fixed incomes as older adults. I get it. But we all know somebody. So, folks, please do what you can to talk to people that you know who do have some money, or talk to people who don't have money and put a dollar here and 25 cents there together. We need to be keeping Larry in this fight one way or another, and anything you can do to help. We're now at the beginning of the month, so we're all getting our checks. Do what you can. If you tithe, I know there are people who realize helping Larry as a man of God who is trying to save this country. You know, it wouldn't hurt for a while anyway to let the money that you give to the Lord be used for the Lord's work with Larry, because of what he is doing behind the scenes to help deal with the deep state, to help guide this election process. He has promised that we will have an army, so we need to grow our numbers. And you know what? Thank you, Paul. I put eucalyptus on my skin before I went outside today, and it did help. But when I opened the door, unfortunately, a couple of them came in the house with me. I did get that one, and it did not bite me, so thank you. And thank you for the tip on the eucalyptus. Let's please do whatever you can. Larry's PayPal is Nichols Live, Live, just like Live with Larry Nichols is the name of the show. So it's Nichols Live, no first name, just Nichols Live at AOL.com. The website is nicholslive.com. And the website has links to the merchandise, the Never Socialism t-shirt, Larry's beautiful CD. There's a necklace you can get that says "No Socialists." There are bumper stickers. The T-shirt, Never Socialism T-shirt. That's the merchandise page. The donate page has the link to his PayPal. It has his mailing address, 58 Kensington Drive, Conway, Arkansas 72034. It also has a cell phone number, 240-499-6729. You can text to that number if you have a donation that you want to give. You need to remember that there is no way for Larry to, this is Larry calling back. Yes, Larry. Not yet. You want me to call you as soon as I'm off? Okay, I'm just wrapping up. I'll be off in less than 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah, Larry needs some financial help pretty quick because of what it takes out of him to do an hour show. I was saying the cell phone, 240-499-6729. If you cannot put cash in the mail and you don't do PayPal, then text, and we can work something else out. I have done a lot of different things to help people get money to Larry, and there are ways to do that. We can get pretty creative. James, I'm sorry about what's happening, and so you understand the pain management. Oh my goodness. Folks, thank you. If you cannot give, I know there are people who cannot, then please set aside some time to pray and ask God to send the money or to send the supernatural healing that we are longing for, okay? With that, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you very much. I will be here tomorrow. Hopefully Larry will be with me. Thanks again. God bless you. Bye.